like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, I been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ride it. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bump it. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black. Yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And out across midfield down to the 45. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. This is Thompson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Jackson on first down. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. On first down, Thompson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 15-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a give right side. It's Thompson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now it's Jackson. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on, because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
That's what you call a rookie mistake. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Jackson now down around his goal line. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And they work this out past the 25. A gain there of 21 yards. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. To throw is Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And he's got his target. That's more. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
First down, Ravens.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down, Baltimore.
Jackson now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Ingram again, a first down carry. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. We're scoreless after 1. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson escaping the pressure right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson to Thompson on the screen. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They run it here with Thompson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Chill.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Jackson. Incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got him the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was the safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, he uncorks it for Snead. And he fires one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
They start with a give to counter, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. complete to Washington. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On the carry, Thompson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing is Jackson. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Let's go. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson flush to his right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Matt Judon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Jackson now, throwing on 3rd and long. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here in the eye. The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Check 3, check 3.
Again, it'll be Connor. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone.
Check 43. Check.
They'll turn to Thompson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
Check 48's the mic. Check 48's the mic. I got one. Set, go.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Let's go, D. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson, he dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson on the move to his left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. That'll bring up second down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Jackson now. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And Andrews lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, a run with Thompson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Eluding the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And that one could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Operating from the gun, Jackson dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going deep for... And now here is another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The first play of the drive is a run with Thompson, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Thompson. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's the 2nd and 7. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Boswell for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They go with Thompson again, down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They go jet sweep. Washington with it. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
A 43-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Now it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. throwing on first down. It's Jackson. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Ravens' 41-yard line.
Set, hut. Switch up, switch up.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Steelers, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin.